Well, our next segment is about coral reefs, and for that we're going to our reporter in the field, Mr. Gold E. Locks. Good evening, Goldie.
Hey, Jonathan.
So, what exactly is a coral reef, and why are they so important to us?
First of all, coral reefs are full of life. Even though they only cover about 1% of the ocean floor, they estimate they support about 25% of all known species of marine life. Corals are often mistaken for rocks or plants, but they're not. They're actually composed of thousands of tiny little animals called coral polyps. These polyps are tiny little soft-bodied animals that are related to sea anemones and jellyfish. But, unlike those guys, the polyps each make their own little hard cup-shaped compartment out of calcium carbonate to protect themselves and to sit in.
They're very colorful. Is that the polyps themselves that are doing that?
No, the polyps themselves are actually transparent. They get their color from thousands of types of photosynthetic algae that they host inside their bodies called zooxanthellae. The algae and the polyps have a symbiotic relationship. During the day, the algae performs photosynthesis and provides the coral polyps with food and oxygen. At night, the polyps have these little stinging tentacles that they can extend and use to catch little zooplankton for a snack and feed themselves and the algae. So they both win.
So, does that have anything to do with this, the phenomenon of coral bleaching that I've heard of, or is that something else?
Yeah, if conditions in the water change, like the temperature gets too high, or there's some kind of pollution, the polyps get stressed out and the zooxanthellae tend to leave the coral tissue. Without the zooxanthellae, just the transparent polyps are left, and the white skeleton is visible, and that's what they mean by bleaching. Coral polyps, they can survive without them for a while, and if conditions return to normal, the zooxanthellae may come back, but if conditions don't change for better, the polyps will eventually starve and die.
So, where do we find coral reefs? If I wanted to go to a coral reef, where would I go?
You'll find coral reefs in tropical waters all over the world. They'll grow pretty much anywhere the water is clean and warm and clear, and close enough to the surface for the sunlight to get through. If the water's polluted, or there's some sort of sediment, or it's too close to some fresh water, then the polyps can't grow, and so there's no coral reef.
Well, if the coral reefs are in danger, what can we do to protect them? They're in the ocean, and also, can't we just plant new ones like we do with trees up on land?
It's not that simple. At one point, every reef started with one coral polyp that settled on a rock, built itself a little limestone calicle, and then budded thousands of more polyps. And they all did the same, and eventually formed a colony of connected little limestone calicles. Like the ones back there. As these colonies continued to grow, they would connect with other colonies, like the ones back there. And eventually they'd form reefs, like the one back there. But even under the best of conditions, colonies don't grow very fast. They usually only extend about a few inches each year. So the reefs we see today, the ones that are established, probably started growing like 5,000 to 10,000 years ago. So we really need to be careful, because if they're gone, then they're gone.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our program this evening. We hope you learned a lot about the oceans and how we can protect them and protect the animals that live there. For Sea Nightly News, this is Jonathan signing off.